So we're going to install the 9H tempered glass screen protector for the Tesla Model 3. Things you need all comes in the pack, so obviously the screen protector in the installation kit. We'll go over that in a second. A lack of dust, which sounds like a daft statement, but what we're meaning by that is we want to minimize the air movement in the car. You know, if you could choose when to do this, you would do it on a coolish day. Maybe it's just rained, so it's a little bit humid, some of the statics have been taken out of the air. Definitely don't want any pets in the car, and if you just come out of the wood shop after making a chest of drawers or something, then probably a bad time to be installing a screen protector. Beyond that, you need 10 or 15 minutes, and we're going to score this a easy 3 in terms of difficulty. Hey, this is Pete from Abstract Ocean. Today we're going to install our 9H tempered glass screen protectors for the Tesla Model 3. They come in 2 finishes, the matte and the HD clear. We're going to install both of them in the car, then at the end we'll kind of have them side by side so you can see the difference between the two. So with that, we'll hop in and start installing them. We're in the car now. We're going to start with the matte screen protector. So a couple of things. I've turned off the air conditioning to limit the amount of dust circulation. Certainly the dust is your enemy here, as always. It's been raining quite a lot lately, so that's good. It takes the static out of the air as well. Again, dust, so that always helps as well. So in the pack we get the tape, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Obviously the screen protector, and then the accessory kit. And then inside here, let's crack this open. We get a little cleaning cloth, some wet wipes, and then some dust absorbers as well. So basically wet, dry, and then kind of the final pick up with these dust absorbers. And that's what we're going to do now. So to start off with, we're going to use the wet wipe. The main purpose of this is really just to get some static off the screen. And before we do anything, we're going to go into display and screen cleaning mode, because you get to see everything when it's black. I'm just going to kind of give the whole screen a wipe over. That's pretty good. And then we're going to take the little cloth, give this a shake somewhere else. Sometimes there can be a little bit of lint or fluff on it, and that's the last thing you want at this point. And then we're going to kind of just dry off the screen, make sure there's no residue from the alcohol wipe. There shouldn't be, but it doesn't hurt. Okay, pretty good. So before we start with the dust absorbers, we're going to go ahead and put our tape on the back of the screen. There's 3 bits of it. Let me just kind of stick it on the back there. A bit fingers and thumbs just because of the camera. So this is one of the ironies of the screen protector. It has a oleophobic coating, so it's actually quite difficult to get tape to stick to it. This is the best tape we could find, but definitely, you know, if you're worried about it dropping, then you can use an extra bit of masking tape or painter's tape across the top here. That's no problem at all. So we're just going to pull the screen protector out of its protective packaging. Now we're going to take our first shot at just picking up any last bits of dust on the screen. And this is where you really need to spend your time. If you have dust under the screen protector when you put it on, there's no fixing that really. If you're lucky, you'll be able to lift the screen protector, grab the piece of dust with a piece of Scotch tape or one of these and put it back down again, but your chances are pretty remote. So you really want to take your time just getting every last piece of dust off. Okay, so that's pretty good so far. Now the screen protector itself is has a protective film on the back of it. The removal tag should mark the top left corner But definitely double check that before we go ahead and apply it. So just hold the screen protector up to the screen and just kind of look at all of the edges. Now, we occasionally get a ticket that says, well, the corners were all wrong and one of the edges was out of alignment. I promised you that's because the screen protector wasn't fitted properly, unfortunately. You know, it's a very precise screen. On the Model 3, there's this shallow curve on the bottom, which makes it a little bit more tricky. And then finally, there's no bezel to kind of hide any errors. So you really have to take your time to just get this lined up on every single corner. So just double check that you got it the right way around. This tab should always be, as I say, in the top left corner. But we have had a couple of instances where it's been in a different corner, and that's just because the production guys aren't used to having a screen protector that basically looks like a perfect rectangle, but it's not. It has this shallow curve, and there's no reference point, there's no camera cutout or home button. So again, just take the time to sort of dry run this, make sure you're comfortable with kind of getting it in position and making sure all the edges and corners look good. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. So during that little process, we've inevitably added some dust to the screen, so we're just going to grab that. Okay, and now we're going to present it to the screen again, and this time we're going to roll the tape over. So the first piece of tape to get right is this middle piece. So kind of, you know, get in front of the screen a little bit, look at all the edges and all the corners, and when you're happy, just go ahead and roll that top one over and make sure it sticks pretty good. We're doing the matte protector at the moment, the tape sticks better to this, but still, you know, it is difficult to get tape to stick properly. And then we're going to come over to this left or right side, sorry, and just roll that piece over, and then this last bit should be perfect, which it is. Okay, so again, make sure the piece of tape is stuck good. And then what we need to do now, this is the hinge method. I'm just going to lift it up at the bottom, lift it away. I don't see any new dust on there yet, but we're going to do one last sweep of it once we pulled the protection film off. So just grab the tab. You can see the tape just coming unstuck a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm holding the screen protector by the edge, trying to avoid touching the bottom of it. Let's just go ahead and grab that piece. Okay, so now we're going to grab a dust absorber, get your last piece of the dust. As soon as you pull that protective film off, there's going to be a bit more static, so definitely need to take one more go at this. Okay, then we're going to lower the screen down. Yeah, we're using the tape to keep it in position, and then just let it drop onto the screen, and then maybe just drag your finger down the middle, and you'll see, hopefully you can see that on camera as well, just see it spreading out left and right. And that applied pretty good. If you have issues with any bubbles or anything, you can use this to work it out, or just maybe wrap it around a credit card just to get some better coverage on it. But that actually went on pretty well. Okay, so we're going to take the tape off. Exit screen cleaning mode. Alright, and there you go. So we get a lot of questions about matte versus HD clear. We're going to go ahead and do a comparison of those at the end of the video. But just a quick piece on the matte. Definitely adds a texture to the screen. There's pros and cons to that. The pro is it virtually eliminates glare, and it has a really nice feel to it as you run your finger across. The downside is that it does kind of fuzz the display just a little bit, so the resolution is slightly less. If you don't have perfect vision, you probably wouldn't notice, but if you do, or if that's something you think you're going to be particularly sensitive to, then go ahead and order the HD clear. Otherwise, the matte is a pretty good option. And in terms of our sails, roughly it's 60% matte and 40% clear, but that does move around a little bit as well. So it really is just down to personal preference. Okay, with that said, we're going to remove this and move on to the clear. So if you do need to remove the screen protector for any reason, just kind of get a finger underneath one of the corners and just gently lift it. If you do it too quickly, then obviously you're going to crack the screen protector. You don't want to do that. Alright, and there we go. Okay, so now we're going to do the clear. Just grab that. It's the same thing, we have the same accessories. Put that out of there. Obviously the screen is relatively clean now anyway, so we're going to go ahead and start with the tape. Okay. Again, just put 3 pieces, one in the middle. You kind of want more on the screen than you do over the back of the screen, or more on the protector I should say. So go ahead and do that. So now we're going to grab the clear. Same things before, so you have this removal tab on the top left hopefully, but let's go ahead and double check. Let's get the positioning, go into screen cleaning mode. Okay, kind of shift it around. So now we've got a glossy on glossy screen, so it does slide around or slip around very easily, but that's in a pretty good position. So we're going to go ahead and lower that middle piece, I think. Come down a little bit. Okay, and again take a look at the right side. Bring that over, and then the left side. You do kind of need to get in front of it to get square on, just to get a good perspective on it. Alright, now we're going to grab a dust grabber, dust absorber, lift up the screen, see what we can find. Hopefully not much. Then as before, watching the tape, so kind of support the screen protector like that at first, just to get it started, and pull it across, and kind of just hold on to the edge of the screen protector as you bring it over. Let that fall away, and then lower the screen protector back down, let it fall into place, just drag your finger down the middle again. Alright, and same thing, that's pretty good. So if you have any large bubbles underneath it, then you're going to have to sort of lift it up to where the bubble is and just kind of work it through as you do that. But this went on pretty well as well, so no bubbles to contend with. So all we need to do is remove the tape again. Exit screen cleaning mode. And there we are. So this is the HD clear. I don't know how much of that you can see really, but this is essentially like it's not there, right? As long as it's fitted well, you don't see the edges. The clarity is excellent on the HD clear. You do see glare, and as I say, I'll do a side-by-side look at that in a second. But generally speaking, it feels very slick, it's nice and smooth. You have the oleophobic coating, so it's easier to clean off fingerprints, either using a cloth or maybe one of our screen cleaning pads, but very easy to deal with. So that's the two screen protectors. So kind of quick recap of the main points. One is turn off your AC so that there's no dust circulating in the car. Two is be sure to try and do this on a day where it's not bone dry. You know, if it's just rained or something like that, then that's good. Certainly, it gets as much static out of the car as possible. And the golden rule, as always, is that dust is your absolute enemy, especially with these 9H tempered glass protectors. Once you get a piece of dust under, there's not much you can do about it. So just spend the time looking around and just grabbing every last bit of dust. And if you run out of the stickiness on the dust absorbers, go ahead and use some Scotch tape. It works just as well. All right, hope that was helpful. Stay tuned for a side-by-side. Okay, so we have in what is probably the least scientific experiment ever, we have the matte screen protector on the left side and the HD clear on the right side. Really just trying to show you the difference in glare. It's getting kind of a bit gloomy here anyway, so I don't know how much you're going to be able to see, but if I sort of bring it down a little bit, hopefully you can see some of the reflections off the sky and the trees and whatever. And you can see that it's pretty much completely lost on the matte side, and yet you can see the reflection pretty clearly on the HD clear. So the HD clear provides really no benefit on reflections over the standard factory screen. The matte one does, but again, as mentioned earlier, you lose some resolution with the matte one versus the HD clear. And I have this little kind of flash cube, so I don't know if this will help or not, but you can kind of see the reflection there on the clear, and you bring it over here, it's very well spread out. So the matte screen protector doesn't magically just make it go away, it just disperses it. That's what it's for. And that's the primary difference between the two screen protectors. Thanks for watching, hope that helps.